Hey, what's going on guys, Mixuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at an AZORIUS control deck for Standard 2022. Now before I get into the deck, I want to quickly apologize for the lack of uploads over the past 4 or 5 days. I've had a very hectic week and Magic has been sort of on the back burner, and with that, recording has sort of been on the back burner as well. We've had like going up north with my friends, I've had end of summer parties, I really fucked up my foot the other day and had to deal with that. We've just been really busy and I haven't had much time to game or play Magic, but now we are back and school is starting soon, so we're not going to have any of that stuff. And we're going to be taking a look at this updated AZORIUS control deck for Standard 2022. So I updated my Dimir deck like a week or two ago and people really liked that, so now we have a brand new blue-white deck. So this deck is pretty different from my last one. We have a bunch of, I want to say new cards, but not really that new. Cards in the form of Portable Hole and Mordekainen, cards you've seen here and there. Portable Hole is really good because it reads non-land permanent, and because I'm rusty, in my head, I didn't actually make the mistake in game, but in my head I made the mistake of thinking that it couldn't hit Ranger's class, but it can, so I'm a bit of an idiot, and I'm just a bit rusty. But yeah, this card removes early creatures, removes all the classes, it's very good. It can also remove treasures against the Is It Dragons deck, but aside from that, you don't really have any targets. But that deck has really fallen off since my last AZORIUS control video. It's still here and there on the ladder, but it's way less popular. We have Professor on 2. Let me rephrase that. In the same way that we have Hunt for Specimens on 2 in the black-based control decks, we have Professor. It's a 2 mana 2/1, so better stat line than the pests, can block more things, well, profitably. And when it ATBs you learn, we have a learn board. Sadly, we don't have as good learn cards. Our learn cards aren't as good. They're not as high quality. We have Environmental Sciences and Mascot Exhibition as always, and 2 teachings that can sort of act as a divination. What I don't like about this card is that you always have to be counting your cards in hand and your opponent's cards in hand, and it's sort of annoying, but it's fine, it works out. Disdainful Stroke and Negate as counter spells. This deck plays a weird game where you sometimes want to tap out, you sometimes don't want to tap out. You have to pick your spots, and I think these counter spells are good along with the playset of Saw It Comings. Also, Jwari's Disruption, tap land or counter spell. We are a 28 land deck, and the Jwaris, along with the Seagate Restoration and Amiria's Call, really do pull their weight as the extra last 8 lands that can also act as spells. And I've cast every single one of these in the video today, so you're going to see them all pull their weight. We have Divide by 0 as more learn. I'm thinking of dropping this to 2 because the Professor combined with the Divide means we learn a lot. Also, Nico has a fun little +1 interaction where you can plus on your Professor, have it connect, and you bounce it back to your hand, and then you can recast it to learn again. So we learn a lot in this deck. The learn engine is very prominent. I haven't seen Nico that much, but I really do like it in this deck. In the same way that you have to pick your spots while tapping out, Nico provides the same sort of challenge where you have to decide how much mana you're going to sink into it, how much mana you can sink into your shards. It's a fun little card. It's really good. Saw It Coming because Universal Counterspell, Starnheim Unleashed, and Behold the Multiverse. I've been playing with these numbers. I've gone to 3-1. I've set it on 2-2, but if you don't have the other mythic, literally just put in another Behold the Multiverse. It's totally fine. Starnheim Unleashed can act as a win con. It can also generate a bunch of blockers in the mid game that can attack because they're vigilant. And Behold helps you play at instant speed while also getting you deeper into your deck. Doomscar, another Foretell card, best sweeper in the format right now. So of course, we're running 4 copies of it as aggro is very prominent. Oran's Epiphany as a sort of tempo swing / win con. It's so good right now. It's the main top end of the format. You create some blockers, take an extra turn. You can help push and damage with a bunch of like angels in this deck. You'll see it's really solid. And Mordekainen as the top end planeswalker. I've been playing like 2 of this in pretty much all my blue-based control decks, and it's been working out very well. The dogs can get really big, you can draw some cards, and the ultimate essentially can renew the game. You have to count how many Alrund's Epiphanies you have when you do it to make sure you can actually kill your opponent. Mana base, we have we have more planes just because we have more blue tap lands and utility lands like Hall of Storm Giants, Jwari's Disruption, Seagate, and Amiria's Call. One of the other top ends we have is just like taking a couple extra turns, making some blockers, and then casting a big Seagate Restoration to help take over the game. You'll see that in this video. I really like it. I want to bump the number of Seagates up, but I think it's a little bit greedy, so we'll see. And Amiria's Call, maybe you can play with these numbers, but Amiria's Call can actually help you win the game, whereas this just helps you really get a lot of cards. Glacial Floodplain as our tap land, and the Hengegate Pathway. Anyways, guys, once again, I apologize for the lack of uploads over the past couple of days. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. It will be in the description down below as always, and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, we're on the play with a bunch of lands, counterspells, Professor. So not feeling too bad. Let's go. Okay, Tangled Veil. Interesting. Let's get down the Professor. And I think this is a Teaching's turn. Just get us further into the deck. Yeah, they play 2 lands. Werewolf Pack Leader. Yeah. This is a Teaching's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just because I need to find a Doomscar. Okay, no Doomscar. So now we have 4 counter spells and no mana to use them, which is really unfortunate. So we need them to miss a turn 3 play and then hope their hand is full of like Asika's Chariots and shit. That's really bad. That's really good. Okay. I guess we could put that on white, because these are going to be blue eventually. And what's the plan? Foretell. I don't hate that, because if we draw untapped land, we have Doomscar into Counterspell backup. It's tough though. I think it's the line. Instead of like foretelling the Epiphany. I'm looking at Juarez and it just does not look great right now. Yeah, they can have a Blizzard Brawl, that's okay. I guess in a way, thank God for Teachings. I know I could have traded for the 2/2, but we're gonna Wrath the board next turn. I mean, yeah, we're gonna Wrath this board. They get down Chariot, which is really good, but we have that into Saw It Coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 lands. If they just animate Faceless Haven, we're kind of sad, but that's really good. Right into a Juarez Disruption, which otherwise is probably just a land. Okay. More Epiphanies. So, I'm going to play this tapped. I think one of the ways I get back into this game is with Olrun's Epiphany. But I'm just going to foretell one of them, because I want cards in my hand for the Seagate Restoration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we need one more land. And it also lets me hold open more counter spells. They could just animate Faceless Haven and attack. Another Chariot. That's hard. We're going to counter it because it makes the cats that crew this Chariot, but are we countering it with this or with this? I think we counter it with this Saw It Coming, because this one is an extra card with Seagate Restoration. Okay, and they level up their Ranger class. So this is an Olrun's Epiphany. And now I really want untapped land. I'm not playing the Seagate because I really want to hard cast this thing. Okay, we make it. Untapped blue. Seagate Restoration. Draw 4. Alright. We're not out of the woods yet, but we do have 2 more extra turns, a ton of card draw. Old Growth Troll. They can crew the Chariot now. We can just chump it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. No trample means I save 5 life. Yep. Just Spear Sentinel. Okay. Okay, what's the plan? I could go for like a bunch of Alrund's Epiphanies back to back to back, but if I'm not in a winning position, I don't exactly see a huge point in that. So, land. This can fetch me, what's the card called? Mascot Exhibition. And I could start spamming Mascot Exhibitions on this board, which isn't terrible. But we can't do that just yet, so maybe we do go for one Alrund's Epiphany, just to get 9 mana. So you'd be able to go Professor into Mascot Exhibition and stabilize the board. Okay, we're going to save this other one, though. No attacks, because of the Sentinel. And we're going to play out... I guess we could use more... We can always use more blue in this deck. Professor learns for Exhibition, and we play out Exhibition. Alright. And after that, we can start drawing cards and countering spells, but we do have to respect their board first of all. Oh, Toski. Uncounterable anyways, but still not ideal. I block. Better to block with the 2-powered creature than to trade off a 1 toughness creature. Sorry, yeah, 2 toughness creature, sorry, not powered. Okay, Juaris. That's a tap land. Like, I'm fairly certain about that. And I don't want to start attacking yet because they have good blocks. With, like, the Sentinel into my birds and with the indestructible Toski. So how much mana do we have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think we can foretell. Or we could just double Behold. Or we can foretell this Epiphany. Because we don't have 10 mana, it's kind of awkward. I don't think we're countering 2 spells anyways. I think we can foretell 1 Behold. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 mana left. I could have probably foretold the other Behold the Multiverse. But I think this is just a bit safer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess this way we get to hold open 2 counter spells. Okay, they're going to crew their chariot. I do want to trade off for the chariot, though. That card's a problem. They get to copy their 4/4. Yep. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Mass block chariot. Because I'm looking for a Wrath anyways. So we're not feeling too bad about it. Snakes can Veil. Yeah, that's a counter. I'm trying to remove this chariot from the board. That's a no. Is this Ranger class level 4 yet? No, it is not. I swear, these games are so hard. Yeah, then they can pump all the mana into... Okay, second Ranger class is a lot worse than the first Ranger class. Because if we find a Wrath, we just kill everything. And we can't exactly remove these very easily. So I think we let that resolve. You know what? We actually can remove them. We have portable holes that we have not drawn any of. So I'm going to cast the Bold from my hand. Okay. Those are some cards. Those are some cards, guys. I think this is a little bit too slow now. I don't think we have enough cards in hand, but I will take the Starnheim Unleashed. Okay, I think I've drawn all my Sod Comings, or like 3 Sod Comings and 1 Doomscar, which is really unfortunate. However, this makes a lot of angels. This makes like a lot of angels. So I think we foretell it now. Get it out of our hand. And now how much mana do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it Olrun's Epiphany time? I think I'm trying to combo kill them with Starnheim Unleashed and Olrun's Epiphany. So you know what? I think I cast Behold now, just to see what we find. Okay, that's good. I'm taking the Amiria's Call. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go for the Amiria's Call and make both of these creatures indestructible. I'm just trying to think. We cast Amiria's Call. We could actually Olrun's Epiphany into a Starnheim Unleashed, but I want to... I think we go Amiria's Call Unleashed into Epiphany. And just clog up the board as much as we can. No attacks. We're on 15 life, so we're not super close to being dead. Okay, land is really good for us. And we have to keep in mind that because they have 2 ranger classes, they can make their stuff bigger. Okay. Trample is annoying, but we can save some life with our creatures, the indestructible ones. Or we can trade off our angels, which I don't really want to do. I think we just go like this, and we take some damage. And we block Toski. Hold on, Toski's gonna draw them cards. Yep, because of Trample. Pack Leader, alright. Alright. So, how much mana is this? So we have 5 angels. That's not bad. I think we just cast it, and then we try to kill them next turn. Okay. Big Starnheim Unleashed. Alright, opponent. Your freaking turn. So basically, they kill me this turn, or we kill them next turn with a combo of Starnheim Unleashed and Olrun's Epiphany. Yeah, they make the 4/4. They understand. Trample is scary. I literally just have to block in a way that makes certain I'm not dead. We're tapped out. They have 3 mana. 3 mana means they can't pump the pack leader. But it does mean they can put counters on it. I mean, that has nothing to do with mana, but, you know. You know what I mean. Okay, so how are we blocking? Let's try not to die, and let's get some good trades. So that's good. That's good. I'll chump that. We could block here. Block here. Double block. Double block. Okay. Seems okay. Oh, what? That's true. They can tap the Faceless Haven. Shit. All right. So they're gonna get to draw 1 card to get 1 point of trample damage. Sorry, I was just looking at their lands at the bottom. But it's fine. We just killed them. All right. GG's, opponent. So not a perfect game, but all things considered, we handled that pretty freaking well. And they scoop it up. Let's go. So come on, that was pretty sweet. Steinheim Unleashed really pulling its weight in that game. Okay, not a bad hand. We have all of our colors, Professor to learn 4 more lands, Joris as a land or counterspell removal, and we build up to Mordekainen. So, feeling pretty good about this one on the play as well, so we don't need to force a white source on 1. Alright, here we go, man. What's it gonna be? This is the most boring part of the video, while we literally sit here and wait for the opponent to figure out if they're going to keep their hand or not. Okay, and they choose to keep. Let's go. Of course, mono red. Am I holding open Joris right now? That would actually be pretty funny. I mean, what am I really doing next turn otherwise? Professor and Portable Hole, maybe Professor something else. I kind of like holding open Joris. They didn't have anything on 1. Okay, I guess I'm a bit of an idiot then. We get kind of punished for that. I'm going to go for the Professor now. Fetch up a land. I thought we were against mono red, but then again, I guess as it was technically more likely. Yeah, you can frostbite that. I'm playing blue-white control. I really don't care. How many cards do they have in their hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're about to draw 6. Let's say they play land for turn and get something out. Then they're going to have 4. If I fetch this, play land, draw a card, play land next turn. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast it 5. Nope, can't fetch Teachings. I mean, I technically can fetch Teachings, but I'm going to grab Environmental Sciences and play out the tapped Joris. Portable Hole against Is It Dragons is one of the reasons that I wasn't running Portable Hole before. It's such a bad card in the matchup. Okay, so do we fetch land? I kind of like fetching land and foretelling saw it coming. I don't think there's anything they're going to count or they're going to cast on 3 or on 4 that I really care about. I could always play the Professor. I mean, that's not terrible, right? But I do like getting this out of my hand as well, just because it lowers the cards in hand count so I can fetch Teachings. Like next turn, we can set it up so that we can at least try to cast the Teachings. Right? Like we go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we play this, fetch Teachings. It's not terrible. Hull of the Storm Giants going to be an issue. I can always fetch Mascot Exhibition, but I do enjoy fighting them on cards. More blue. You know what? This is a Goldspan Dragon turn, but they would need untapped land 5. And but I do like getting counter spells out of their hands. I think I'm gonna pass. Hold open, negate, and saw it coming, as opposed to just casting Teachings into what might be a negate. Expressive Iteration. I'm gonna counter that. If they're struggling on mana, then that's a good thing. And if they play negate right here, it means they had it anyways. Test of Talents, okay. Well, that's actually pretty funny considering I don't play any other negates in my deck. They get to see my hand, but if I draw land, we can resolve a Mordekainen, which is huge. Let's go. Miss a land. And they hit the snow-covered mountain. That's definitely a frostbite. We miss on land, which is deeply unfortunate. Okay, let's say I play Teachings. We're going to have 4 cards in hand. They can Frostbite my thing. They're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still play Teachings to draw 2. Even if they drop a card out of their hand, we're still chilling. And now we can get a bit more white down. And we're going to pass. Hold open, divide by 0, and saw it coming. So maybe they didn't have Frostbite. Another expressive iteration. I think we can let that one go. I think using our negate before made a lot of sense because they needed to hit land. Versus saw it coming now being a less powerful. I guess if they had counterspells, it's not bad. Okay, Faceless Haven is another issue. And Foretell. Okay, another Professor. I'm going to cast my Professor. Going to fetch Teaching. Oh, sorry, Environmental Sciences. Cast it up. I just want to keep hitting my lands and progressing my mana. I feel like if I keep hitting lands, we're going to be in a really good spot. Okay, opponent doesn't do anything. They're only on 2 blue, which we have to keep in mind. Like, that's very relevant. Okay, another Hull. Fairly greedy Is It Dragons player. With the double Hull of Storm Giants and 2 Faceless Havens. Starnheim Unleashed, okay. Is it Mordenkainen time? They can use 3 mana to power this up and they'll still have a bunch of lands left over. I think we take this turn to foretell some stuff. Just get a discount on everything. And a Behold the Multiverse would be really good in this spot. I don't like slamming Mordekainen into all this open mana, and I think the opponent realizes that. Cinderclasm. I guess that's fine. I don't really care about these professors that much. They're just good blockers for the manlands. But if the opponent's going to spend all their mana powering up manlands, we're pretty happy. Okay. They power up Hull to get in 7 damage. That's fine with me. Now they only have 1 red mana. So, hey, you do you. This costs me 6 mana, it gets me 2 blockers, and I can play something afterwards. Or I can go for 1, 2, 3, 4. I can go for 3 Angels, which isn't terrible. Or I can try to resolve a Planeswalker and have them deal with it. I like the Planeswalker. So we're going to take the extra turn, get the blockers. Try to get a untapped land and play Mordenkainen with Counterspell backup. Okay, you know what? We're doing this. Oh yeah. I like that. That worked out. And we're going to play tap land. Okay. No attacks. So, I recognize that that was very greedy, and we don't get the hold open counter magic, but we do have a ton of cards now. Like, the card advantage is absolutely insane. Kind of funny how we found 3 portable holes before we found 1 sweeper. Okay. Cinderclasm my birds. That's fine. That is 100% fine with me. Hit me with a Faceless Haven. I have to be careful not to die, which is pretty funny. I really, really, really want to cast the other Seagate Restoration, but we're not going to do that. Mordenkainen. Make big dog. I want all the lands I can get. Now we're holding open, saw it coming, and a divide by 0. I can counter their counter. I think we go for it. I can also just divide the saw it coming back to their hand. This interacts with creatures and like man lands and stuff. Let's go for the counter spell. It also keeps our hand bigger for the Mordekainen minus, which we get off. Goes through. Is this a frostbite for Mordekainen? Sorry. Oh, 18-18 dog. Not bad. Not bad. That can force some manland blocks. Okay, so they did have the frostbite from before. Now the question is, do they have the divide by 0? Behold, that's fine. I know my hand's kind of a mess. It's very hard to sort out the big hands. This kind of worked. Put all the portable holes in one spot. So they're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Foretell. Hey man, you're gonna die. Like. Okay. I'm gonna go in for the attack. They can spend all their mana to animate Faceless Haven. Right, this actually can't hit man lands because of the mana value, but it's okay. We have Alrund's Epiphany. It works out, guys. It works out. And now they're tapped out. I still think regardless, we have to go for the play of attacking with the 2020. Sorry. Yeah, it basically forces that block. And then we can Seagate Restoration again, play Mordekainen, hold open divide by 0 and stuff like that. But my bad on that little error with where they can't target permanents with mana value 1 or less. I have not played divide by 0 in a hot minute.